Look, we've all been there. It's a Tuesday night, you're sitting at your kitchen table, staring at your bank app or a messy spreadsheet, and you're doing that thing. You know the one. You're playing the calendar game. You're looking at your current savings, maybe it's $5,000, maybe it's $50,000, and then you look at your freedom number. That big, scary $1 million goal that feels like it's on the other side of a galaxy. You do the quick mental math. Okay, if I save $1,000 a month, and I need $1 million, that's 83 years. I'll be dead. Here's the thing, that sinking feeling in your stomach. That, what's the point, internal monologue. It's based on a massive, fundamental lie about how money actually works. We are taught to think linearly, 1, 2, 3, 4, but money grows exponentially. Most people think the halfway point to a 30-year retirement goal is year 15. It's a logical assumption, but mathematically, if you're looking at your balance, the halfway point is actually closer to year 23 or 24. However, and this is the cheat code, if you're looking at effort, the halfway point is actually in the first 7 years. This is the 7-year rule. It's the reality that the dollars you invest in your 20s or early 30s are superpowered, compared to the weak, tired dollars you'll invest in your 50s. Today, I'm going to show you why your first 7 years of investing are more important than the following 20 years combined. And if you feel like you've already missed those years, don't click away, because I'm going to show you how to manufacture a second peak to catch up. Let's start with a reality check. According to data from the Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances, the median retirement account balance for Americans under 35 is only about $18,000. For those aged 55 to 64, it's around $185,000. Now, on paper, the 60-year-old looks richer. But mathematically, the 25-year-old with $18,000 might actually be in a more powerful position. Why? Because of the Rule of 72. The Rule of 72 is a simple way to determine how long it takes for your money to double. You divide 72 by your annual rate of return. If you earn 7%, a conservative historical average for the stock market, your money doubles every 10 years. Here's where it gets really interesting. Let's look at two people, early Eric and late Laura. Early Eric invests $10,000 a year, but only for 7 years, starting at age 25. By age 32, he stops entirely. He never puts in another cent. Total invested, $70,000. Late Laura waits. She spends her 20s, living her best life. She starts at age 32, exactly when Eric stopped. She invests the same $10,000 a year, but she does it for 33 years straight, all the way until age 65. Total invested, $330,000. Who has more money at retirement? Most people assume it's Laura. She put in nearly 5 times as much money. She worked harder, saved longer, and was more consistent in the long run. But because of the 7-year rule, Eric wins. By age 65, Eric's $70,000 has grown to roughly $950,000, assuming a 7% return. Laura's $330,000. It's sitting at about $860,000. Eric stopped playing the game before Laura even started, yet he crossed the finish line first. That is the halfway math. The first 7 years did the heavy lifting that 33 years of manual labor couldn't replicate. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds great, but saving $10,000 a year in my 20s feels impossible. I have student loans, entry-level pay, and rent is skyrocketing. I hear you. And this is where the psychology of money hits harder than the math. We are biologically wired to value the now over the later. This is called hyperbolic discounting. Our brains view our future self as a total stranger. It's literally easier for your brain to justify buying a $50 dinner for current you than it is to save $50 for a 60-year-old stranger you haven't met yet. But here is what most people don't realize: the pain of saving is also front-loaded. Think of it like an airplane taking off. An airplane uses a massive percentage of its fuel just to reach cruising altitude. Once it's at 30,000 feet, it can throttle back. It's gliding. Your financial life is the same. The first $100,000 is the hardest because you are doing 100% of the work. Your money isn't helping you yet. If you have $10,000 and it grows by 7%, you made $700. That doesn't feel life-changing. It barely covers a grocery bill. You think, why am I sacrificing my lifestyle for $700? But when you have $1 million and it grows by 7%, you made $70,000. That is a salary. You didn't wake up, you didn't go to a meeting, you didn't answer an email. Your money earned a median American income while you slept. The 7-year rule is about getting to that cruising altitude as fast as possible so you can stop fighting the gravity of poverty. Let's talk about the 1/3 of the way to $1 million logic. If you want to hit $1 million, your brain thinks the halfway point is $500,000. Mathematically, if we assume a standard 7 to 8% return, the time halfway point is actually around $300,000 to $333,000. Why? Because once you hit $333,000, you have reached the tipping point. At this stage, a standard 7% market return adds about $23,000 to your net worth. If you are also contributing $20,000 a year from your job, your money is now officially working harder than you are. From $333,000, your money only needs to double 1.5 times to hit $1 million. And because of compounding, those last doubles happen significantly faster than the first ones. Addressing the "I'm too late" objection now, I can already hear the comments. I'm 40. I'm 45. I didn't start at 25. Is it over for me? Look, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. If you missed your natural 7-year window in your 20s, you have to create a synthetic 7-year window. This is where you go into war mode. For the next 7 years, you treat your savings rate like a life or death mission. You don't aim for the standard 10% or 15% contribution. You aim for 30%, 40%, or 50%. You downsize the house, you drive the older car, you cut the invisible subscriptions. Why? Because you are trying to compress 20 years of slow growth into 7 years of explosive growth. If you can move your velocity, the speed at which you add capital high enough, you can trick the math. A 40-year-old who saves $50,000 a year for 7 years will often end up in a better position than a 40-year-old who saves $10,000 a year for 25 years. It's about intensity over duration. It's not just what you save. Here's what most people don't realize: your financial velocity isn't just determined by your paycheck. It's determined by your burn rate. Let's use the submarine analogy. Imagine 2 submarines trying to reach the surface, financial freedom. Submarine A has a massive engine, high income, but a huge leak in the hull, high expenses. Submarine B has a smaller engine, average income, but a perfectly sealed hull, low expenses. Submarine A might look more impressive, but it's constantly fighting to keep the water out. If the engine stalls for 1 second, it sinks. Submarine B moves slower, but every inch of progress is permanent. In your first 7 years, your goal isn't just to save money. It's to seal the hull. If you can learn to live a high-quality life on a low percentage of your income early on, you win twice. You save more money, the math. You need less money to retire, the psychology. If you need $100,000 a year to be happy, you need $2.5 million to retire. If you can be just as happy on $60,000 a year, you only need $1.5 million. You just shaved $1 million off your goal simply by managing your lifestyle drag. So, how do we actually do this? How do we leverage the halfway math? 1. Identify your cruising altitude number. Don't just aim for $1 million. Calculate your $300,000 milestone. This is the point where the flywheel starts to spin on its own. Focus all your mental energy on that number. Once you hit $300,000, the hard part of your life is mathematically over. 2. The 1 in, 2 out rule. For the next 7 years, every time you get a raise or a bonus, apply the 1 in, 2 out rule. For every $1 you increase your lifestyle, $2 must go into your investments. This allows you to feel the progress of your hard work, the dopamine hit, while ensuring your velocity continues to increase. 3. Audit your time capacitors. Look at your biggest expenses, housing and transportation. If you are in your first 7 years, these are your biggest enemies. A $600 car payment isn't just $600. If you're 25, that $600 invested at 7% would be worth $9,000 a month in retirement. Is that Honda Civic worth $9,000 a month to future you? Probably not. 4. Ignore the market noise. During your first 7 years, the stock market's performance actually doesn't matter that much. If the market drops 20% when you have $10,000, you only lost $2,000. You can make that back in a month of side hustling. This is the time to be aggressively boring. Buy broad market index funds and don't check the price. Let me leave you with a story to reinforce this. There were 2 architects, Sarah and Michael. They both graduated at age 23 and earned the exact same salary. Sarah understood the 7-year rule. For her first 7 years, she lived with roommates, drove her college sedan, and funneled 40% of her income into her brokerage account. By age 30, she had $200,000. She decided she wanted to slow down, have kids, and work part-time. She stopped contributing to her investments entirely. Michael wanted to look like an architect. He got the luxury condo and the European SUV immediately. He saved 5%, thinking, I'll save more when I'm a partner. At age 35, he finally became a partner and started saving $50,000 a year. 20 years later, Michael is stressed, working 70-hour weeks to maintain his lifestyle and catch up on retirement. Sarah is working 20 hours a week, traveling with her family, and her net worth is double Michael's. Sarah didn't work harder, she just worked earlier. She understood that time is a coordinate, not just a duration. The most dangerous thought you can have is, I'll start when things settle down. Things never settle down. Life only gets more expensive. Kids, mortgages, aging parents, health issues, the friction of life only increases as you get older. The 7-year rule is your way to buy your freedom before life gets heavy. Whether you are 22 or 52, you need to pick a 7-year window and decide that it is the most important financial period of your life. Stop thinking about the 30-year mountain. Start thinking about the 7-year takeoff. Here's my challenge to you, look at your last 30 days of spending. Find 3 things that are lifestyle drag, things you're buying just to maintain an image or a habit, and cut them. Redirect that money into an index fund today. Because the $100 you save today is a super-powered dollar. The $100 you save in 20 years is just $100. If this video shifted your perspective on how compounding actually works, do me a favor, hit the like button so the algorithm can show this to someone else who's feeling stuck on that plateau. And if you're ready to commit to your 7-year window, comment year 1 below. I want to see who's starting their takeoff today. Your future self is waiting. Don't let him down. I'll see you in the next one.